Welcome to Lesson 5. I'm Libby McLaren.
And I'm Celia Ramsey.
This lesson is geared towards intermediate level students, and you are here because you are tired of learning rote harmonies, and you want to know how to create your own. How do you do that? What tricks are in your back pocket?
The advantages of making your own harmonies up are myriad, but the obvious one is it helps you with problems that you might have with range. When you sing with someone who has a different range than you, for example. Also, it adds interest, it adds richness, color, and it makes the song yours.
We are going to teach you about 3 tools that can assist you in creating your own harmonies. They are hunting for harmonies, using intervals, and understanding chords and common tones. The first one, hunting for harmonies, requires your ear, a recording device, and a willingness to go off the rails a bit, but it doesn't require you to know any theory.
The remaining 2 are simple components of music theory, but don't freak out. They're not super complicated, and if you're willing, you'll benefit from a basic understanding of them. With his permission, we will be using the refrain from David Francie's fine song, Come Rain or Come Shine, to demonstrate these tools.
Okay, the first method, hunting for harmonies. Notice that we're working on a small section at a time until we get what we want. Don't forget to record yourself as you're going. We'll say more about this in a few minutes. So I want to learn this super cool song by David Francie, again, called Come Rain or Come Shine. You want to work on that?
Yeah, sure.
I want to try to figure out, what are some harmonies we can use on this? So
Cool. I don't really know the melody that well, so maybe we should sing it together a couple of times. And then,
great for
so I can, and then I can maybe hear some stuff. Okay,
sure.
So go ahead.
I want to tell you, come rain or come shine, that I'll always...
Boy, that's low. I think we need to take it up. Can maybe go, because
good.
I could still sing harmony above that. I think,
right.
I want to tell you, something
Good.
like that.
Okay, great. That was a really good idea. So,
Okay, good.
I want to tell you, come rain or come shine, that I'll always be your love, if you'll always be mine. So my range is lower than yours.
Yeah.
That's working okay for me, but you want to take it a little higher even
I
still?
think it's okay, because if I'm doing a harmony above you, I
Okay.
should be fine and totally in my wheelhouse as far as I go.
Always be mine. That was
But
my
if we
low.
needed to go up, you could go up a little higher if you needed.
I could,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, I think we're okay right there, to be honest. So.
All right, super slow, each line at a time.
Okay,
So,
got it.
I want to tell you. Let's try that again.
Yeah, I'm not quite wild about that. And let's make sure we're just doing like a little chunk. So let's I want to tell you, come rain or come shine. Let's not do the whole thing, but let's only work on that. And let's work on the first chunk of that. Okay.
Great, good,
I want to
good,
tell
yeah.
you.
Okay,
Let's
so
do that much, okay?
I want to tell you.
I'm not really happy with that third note. No. Well, it's the fourth
Stay
note.
on that.
Okay, let's go ahead. Try again.
So
I'll try it. Okay.
I want to tell you. I like that.
I like that.
Come rain or come shine.
I'm really going parallel there, but I think I kind of need to not do that. So let's do it again.
From the beginning.
Yeah, please.
I want to tell you, come rain or come shine.
I feel like I'm trying to resolve it, and I don't want it. I mean, there's more to go, so let's do it one more time.
Okay.
And I won't hit that last note that way.
Maybe the last note a little lower then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's something too.
I want to tell you, come rain or come shine. I like
liking
that.
That feels like it's. It feels like it's.
Yeah.
It's like got the color of the chord.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
the color of
Okay.
yeah, that's good.
All right, I
Okay,
feel
then
pretty good.
from there,
Yeah.
that I'll always be your love.
Yeah.
That I'll always be your love. Oh, that was
That's
so
much
nice.
better. Okay,
do
keep
that
going.
again.
Yeah.
That I'll always be your love if you'll always be mine. Oh, and then it resolves. That's great. That's
I
good.
like that. I
We'll
think
do the
that's
second
good.
half just, or from the beginning?
Yeah, let's do it from the beginning.
Okay. I want to tell you, come rain or come shine, that I'll always be your love if you'll always be mine. That was really good.
I
Really
think
good.
that's good. I like that.
That's nice.
So, did you see how easy that was? It required that we were cooperative. It can be a lot of fun if you're working with somebody who you can trust to be patient while you try stuff out.
Yeah.
But how do you remember your ideas? Like I'm just doing this on the fly. How do you remember what you've just done? Can you do the same thing when you're alone? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
There are apps for that, and we will talk about several of them a little bit later in this video. And if you need to, you can jump to that information right now using the chapter links that are low in the bottom of the YouTube window. So have a look for those.
Okay, so you've had fun doing Hunting for Harmonies. It's kind of crazy, it's really fun, and we love to do this together. That's tool number 1 in the toolbox of searching and hunting for harmonies. Tool number 2 is knowing your intervals. Intervals are the distance between one note and the next, and those are called intervals. So why do we want to know intervals? Now, if you don't have a musical instrument to guide you, it helps you know how to get from your first note to your second note, what that distance is and what it's called. If you're searching for a harmony note and you know that it needs to be a particular interval, a particular distance, you can figure out what it is and know what the name of it is. If you're creating harmonies from chords, you can know that it's a major third or a fifth, that kind of a thing. If you don't understand what that means, don't worry. We'll talk about it a little bit later. If you are looking for a particular interval and you're looking for remembering what that particular interval is, we have what are called song cues. The song cue is a recognizable melody, and you use the interval or the song cue to help you remember what that interval is. As an example, I left my heart in San Francisco, but you try to remember I left, and that is a minor second ascending. I left. So you memorize that song is the song that you use for your ascending minor second, also called a half step. Here Comes the Bride is an ascending fourth. Da 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 da, great melodies, great song cue to remember that that's your ascending fourth. Born Free is the opposite. It's the descending fourth. Born Free. So after a while, you get the hang of what your different song cues are, and then you remember what your intervals are. Here are the pages that show you what all these song cues are for all of the intervals, all the way up through an entire octave. You can go to the bottom into the description box at the bottom of the video, and you'll look for the show more, and you'll click on that, and you'll be able to get the link to go to Celia's website, my website, where you'll get the PDF to know, to be able to print out what these beautiful slides of all these cue songs are. It's a very handy thing. I recommend that you print it out and you practice your favorite song cues so that you know your intervals based on what those are. Okay, so now you're looking at the ascending intervals page, and you'll notice that on the left side is the name of the interval. On the right side is what your cue song is. So for example, if you're trying to go up a major third, you would think of Michael, Michael Rowe, but it's the Michael. Or maybe you're looking for a fifth and you think, oh, right, twinkle, 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 do, do. That's your fifth ascending. And if we look at the descending page, there you go. And the descending page, same thing. The name of the interval on the left column, the kind of the song cue on the right column. If you were looking to do a minor third descending, you would think, hey, Jude, do, do. Or maybe you want to go down a fifth and you would think, Flintstones, meet the Flintstones, but Flintstones, do, do, descending fifth. So these song cues are wonderful and these pages are fabulous. Let's move to the piano and actually see what's going on the piano with regard to these song cues and these intervals. Now what I want to do is to play a note and hold that note as what we call the root note, which is the bottom, like the root of a tree. The root of a chord is the bottom note of the chord. So if I am trying to figure out, I want to make this kind of a sound, that's called a major third. And we now know this because minor second, minor third, major third. Now the major third is what makes a major chord. You tack on a fifth on the top, and you've got yourself a major triad or a major chord. Now, if I was going to go for this but want to make a minor chord, I would need to substitute out the major third for the minor third, which we now know that's the minor third. And let's say I was trying to figure out what that interval would sound like from here to here, and that of course would be my ascending minor third, which would be lullaby. And that would create, with the fifth on top, which you now know about the fifth, 1, minor 3, and 5, which makes the minor chord. Now, here's a good thing to take note of. If I am descending, I go from my minor second, major second, minor third, major third. So if I want to go, because this note here was my root note on my example when I was ascending, but now my root note is the bottom of the chord I am currently playing, which means my root note is now this note, which is called F. And so when I'm trying to make my major chord, I need my major third in the middle, built from minor second, minor third, major third. So you can see that knowing the difference between your minor thirds and your major thirds, knowing when they're coming from, is going to be super important to understanding how to find harmonies that work with the chord. Let's be clear. If I have a chord that goes from here to here with this on top, for a beautiful C chord and it's making a beautiful harmony, I am not going to be able to use a major third descending to find a similar melody and a similar harmony. It will not work. You need to really use your ears to figure out what sounds best for you. When you're making your chords, be aware if you're using the major third for the major triad or chord, or the minor third to make your minor chord or your minor triad. Triad simply means 3 notes. Okay, now I want to go back to the song that Celia and I were using, Come Rain or Come Shine, and I want to show you something about the nuances of intervals and finding harmonies. If we use the song Come Rain or Come Shine, the chord structure, in other words, the chords that are attached to this particular musical bite, this musical phrase, will be, I want to tell you. Okay, it doesn't matter what the names of those are, but that is the structure, the harmonic structure that's being used. I want to tell you. So if we were to pick harmonies for, I want to tell you, all of those are thirds. I want to tell you, doesn't I want to tell you? Sounds fine if you're just playing the melody, but as soon as the chord comes in, you realize that I want to tell you doesn't work. So you have to listen and say, oh, let me re-examine what my choices are. And it turns out that the thirds straight through, I want to tell you, don't work. We need to keep a fourth. I want to tell you, I want to tell you, that goes nicely with the melody. not only does it work with the melody, but it works with the chord that is being used for that particular part of that phrase. I want to tell you. So you want to always be aware that just because thirds work in the beginning doesn't mean you want to keep thirds going all the way through the song. Be aware that you might have to experiment with adjacent neighboring intervals in order to figure out something that is going to work with the chord structure. Okay, now, here we are. We're going to look at what the different notes are in the scale. We're going to decide how to make the chords, the major triads out of those notes, and we'll proceed forward. So first off, let's begin with C. That's middle C there. And we're going to run through the C major scale, tone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. C major scale. However, let's just concentrate on what the 1, the 3, and the 5 are. 1, 2, we don't need. 3, 4, we won't use. And 5. 1, 3, 5, C major triad, C, E, G. C, E, G. Awesome. Okay, if we did the same exact situation with F, we would be F, not a G, that's the 2. A is the 3. B flat is the 4, we don't use that. And C is the 5. F, A, C. And to finish with the G chord, we'll use the same situation where G is the 1. We don't use A as the 2. We'll use B for the 3, not the 4, which is C, and D, which is the 5. G, B, D, 1, 3, 5. Come back to C major, C, E, G. Now then, it is true that you can reconfigure into a different inversion. This is root position for the reason that C is the name of the chord and it's on the bottom or the root, C, E, G. But we could take what's on the bottom, put it on the top. Oh, cool. E on the bottom, G in the middle, C on top. It is still a C major triad because all we did was take that C on the bottom and put it on the top. So we created what we call the first inversion. You can also take what's on the bottom here, put it up on top, creating a second inversion. It is still a C major chord made up of a C, E, G, but it's in a new inversion. Come back down. C is on the top, E on the bottom, G in the middle, C on top, first inversion, or come back down to root position. Same thing applies to the F chord, F, A, C. Put the F on top, still an F major chord. We just reconfigured or created a new inversion. Same thing, put the A on top, creates a new inversion, C, F, A. It is still an F major chord. Walk it back down, and you're back down to root position. For the sake of it, let's do the G chord. G, B, D, put the G up on top for a first inversion, or a B on top for a second inversion, walk it back down. So we have C major, F major, and G major. Now, where we get really interesting is when we look at common tones. If we take a C chord and we compare it to an F chord, we realize that there is a common tone, and that is C. So we have C, E, G. When we go to the F chord, our common tone is the C. If we take the C chord and we're going to a G chord, the common tone is G. So between a C chord and a G chord, our common tone is G. Now Celia is going to show you a really cool image and talk more about these common tones.
Here is an illustration of common tones for the key of C. So if you see the piano keyboard there, you see the names of the letters of the keys spelled out C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Below that, you'll see there's some colored lines. And for the key of C, the triad that you need basically includes the notes C, E, and G. And that is indicated with a turquoise set of lines to show you the key of C. The 4 chord, or the would be the chord that starts on the note 4 notes above C. So C, D, E, F is the 4 chord. And the triad notes, the notes that comprise the triad for the key of F, the chord F, are F, A, and C. And those are illustrated with a darker blue line. Finally, the 5 chord is G, C, D, E, F, G. And the triad notes for that are G, B, and D. And so you see that indicated with a pink set of lines. And you'll notice that the illustration's got the 1, the 4, and the 5 chord underneath the letter names of the chords. What you need to see is that C is a common tone for the key, the chord C, and it's also in the chord F. So the common tones for C and F are C. Then you should also notice that the common tones for the chords C and G is G. So hopefully from this, you can sort of get an idea. This is an illustration of what Libby has just been explaining on the piano keyboard. If you have an iPhone, you will already have the voice memo app embedded on your phone. And if you have an Android phone, you are going to want to download the voice recorder app. Now, we're not paid to promote this next app, but you will love this one. It's called the Amazing Slowdowner. This app allows you to upload your favorite songs or your voice memos, to slow down their tempo without changing pitch, to shift the pitch to try out a different range, and to loop segments, which is really important for harmony practice since you can work with small bites at a time. At the time that we're making this video, the app costs $9.95, but it's worth every penny. And you can also buy it for your computer, Mac or Windows, for $49.95. If you have an iPhone, you're going to use the voice memo app in conjunction with the Amazing Slowdowner. First, download the Amazing Slowdowner from the App Store, and then you're going to record yourself. When you open it, you'll see this image. You'll tap the red button once to record and a second time to stop recording. Your new recording will show up at the top. It will number any new recording after that. And you can change the title by tapping the end, backspacing to erase, and then typing your new title. Tap the 3 buttons next to your new recording. That will allow you to have this menu appear, and you're going to want to click Share. When you share this video, you'll be sharing it to a variety of different things. You can share it a variety of ways. You can to your drive, but you're going to choose your Amazing Slowdowner app. Then when you do that, it's going to show you that the imported file is available in other songs in the inbox. There it is at the top, my new recording of my voice. If you're working on an Android, you'll open the voice recorder application and you'll see this. You'll press the red button once or twice to stop and start. Your new voice memo will come up, or your recording, voice 07, and it will number them. Tap the 3 vertical dots to get this menu. You'll see you can rename the file, and then you will need to share the file. And you will have to share this file to your Google Drive. That's just how it works on the Android. So click Drive. Once that's open, you'll see this. Save this new thing, and you can rename it here too if you'd like. And then you'll see this pop up in the Amazing Slowdowner. And this is where the magic will actually begin. You'll be able to work with this particular thing. Do notice the difference in the appearance of the app from the Android and for the iPhone. Basically, all the components are still there. They're just a little bit differently arranged. And you'll need to know that for this next segment that I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to actually loop something on the Amazing Slowdowner now. Basically, you see right here, this button, that button is the looping button. And you'll see there's a line drawn through it which shows that it's not actively on right now. If I press it, several things come to life. I'll explain only the one thing, and you can experiment with this yourself, but has to do with various things. Now, to loop, basically I've now opened this particular thing called New Recording, which is a segment of David Francie's Come Rain or Come Shine. If I press play, I want to tell you, come rain or come shine, you'll hear the song. Now, if I don't want to hear the whole thing, I want to just loop that one section I just played for you. Basically, what I want to do is tell it to end in a different place. I want it to start at the beginning, so the start button right there is fine, but I want to drag this over, and you'll see the counter next to my finger go down as I drag it over. And I'm going to stop at 06 because I think that that's probably more correct for what I want to loop. Now, it will just loop.
I want to tell you, come rain or come shine. I want to tell you, come rain or come shine.
And this is so cool because if you need to repeat something over and over again to try a few different things, you get a chance to just do it without having to push a lot of buttons. You can be recording yourself at the same moment so you don't lose any of these ideas. And I'll show you what I mean. You'd be recording yourself as you practice this. I want to tell you, come rain or come shine. Well, that's okay. I want to tell you, come rain or come shine. Oh, I didn't like that. I want to tell you, come rain or come shine. Ooh, I like that one. I'm going to try to remember that. So basically, I'm kind of modeling for you what you're going to be doing, but you'll record this on another device at the same time so you don't lose any of those ideas. Something else that you can do is change the speed. If you need to slow it down for yourself, you go to the speed button and you just drag it a little bit to the left. Let's go down to roughly like that. You'll hear that it's now slower. Now, our experience in the world is that when you slow something down, it makes it go more like a kind of slow-mo voice. But in this case, it actually doesn't change the pitch. Come in. It's slower. And it's a little wonky sounding. But it's still very cool because you can slow it down to take your time with whatever pitches you want to play with or what you're practicing. Now, if I put the speed back to 100, I also want you to know that, oops, you recorded your first part, the melody part, at the wrong pitch so that you're going to have difficulty with your harmony. What do? You can change the pitch. So here we go. I want to make it lower. I'm going to go down one semitone, two semitones. So now I can practice, I want to tell you, come rain or come shine. Or I can go up either way. It makes it just that much easier to practice something. And because you know what your starting pitch was, if you know you're going down two semitones, two half steps, that will tell you what pitch is your starting pitch. So, to recap what you've learned, here are the things that we've covered in this Lesson 5 video. We talked about hunting for harmonies, how to work by yourself or with a trusty pal. We talked about learning intervals, especially thirds and fifths, to help orient your ear towards chord structure.
Right. You learned how chords can help you find the harmonies that work well with your melody. You also learned about common tones, parallel harmonies, drones, and moving parts that are useful tools for when you're trying to find harmonies within your harmony toolbox. We really hope that you have found these videos to be helpful. Please be sure to check out our respective websites, and please keep on singing.
Keep on singing.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.